Everything just shifted.
What shifted?
Well, we hit record on this hit horror movie podcast that we're
Oh my
doing right now.
God. I felt something, but it was more in like my stomach area.
That's anxiety. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know what you've eaten, but
Not much today so far. But
no, me
yes, that
neither.
is anxiety.
I'm holding out for pizza later.
So, what are we doing here?
We're making a hit podcast. That's what we're doing.
A hit podcast. I love that. You're
I know.
manifesting it.
Yeah, well, you've got to have a target, haven't you?
You do. I like that. Like goals.
I mean, it's ambitious, especially when one of us is having to carry the other. You know what I mean?
Are we talking about right now or are we talking about in general? Because my back
Well,
hurts.
oh damn, I'm screwed because you're like 5'11", and I'm just this little titchy boy
And
with a bad
yeah,
leg.
with a bad leg. Let's
Yeah.
get that out there. Um, yeah.
Yeah, one of your hosts isn't so able-bodied anymore. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
You are able-bodied. Stop it.
Yeah, I can walk around now.
That's good.
I can walk. I've been walking for a while, so I'm just being dramatic, really. But that's
I
that's
remember
me.
like yeah, I remember I don't know, like this is from a movie or a TV show or possibly a cartoon. Some dude walking, but because one leg is shorter than the other, he just walks in a circle constantly. Does that
Is that
No,
what
but
my life is like now?
well, that was I was segueing into that, but I feel like you would know what that's from. Like The Simpsons or Family Guy. I can't remember.
No, I'm sorry, you've stumped me with that one. I don't
I
I
have
don't
the
know what you're
visual in
referring
my
to.
head, but I have no idea. Anyways,
I'm thinking
yes,
Ganimation
that's how I
style.
picture you. I figure like after your surgery, one leg is a bit shorter, so that when you do try to get around, you just end up walking in circles. That's how I like to think of you, anyways.
No, I just sort of tilt a little bit, I think. I've not measured the
Oh,
legs.
so if I put a glass of water on your head, it would fall over.
Maybe I'd have trouble balancing as I moved, I
All right.
think. I'm not sure whether the length is different though. I've not really used the tape measure in a long time. There's a history there.
I didn't think the tangents would start quite so early, but here we are. Anyways, welcome to our podcast.
Yeah, that's a great opening that we had there. Talking about my dodgy leg. But
We love your dodgy leg. We're all praying for you. Thoughts and prayers.
thanks. I think that time's passed, so I think I'm okay. We can talk about horror movies now.
Are you okay? I don't think you ever were okay. Yes, let's talk about horror
Physically.
movies.
Physically, I'm okay. Mentally,
Okay.
not so much.
Dodgy, yes.
Wow.
Um so yes, let's talk about some horror movies now instead of your life, which is also a horror movie. But hey, mine too. I'm not judging. My life is a horror movie too. All of our lives are horror movies,
Well,
aren't
yeah,
they?
you live in a house of spiders.
Kiss my ass.
Okay.
Anyway,
Damn. Sh- trying to get my lick back, and this is what happens.
this is turning less into a horror podcast and more into our mental illness just surfacing in conversation. Our collective mental illness. I'm not pointing
Relatable.
the finger at you. But yes,
Yeah, you have problems too.
let's get into some horror movies.
Yeah.
Welcome to our podcast.
Body count continues.
I
What a
have to
name,
give
by the way.
Yes, and I have to give you credit for that. All credit to Evil Dead Thing. I still call him Evil Dead Thing, even though he's changed his name long ago. Not long ago, but it feels like long ago, maybe.
Yeah, it's Evil Scream now, or Evil Scream as you like to call it.
I prefer Evil Scream, but yes,
I
it
wonder
is
why.
Evil Scream with a 4 instead of the A, because
Yeah,
Scream 4 supremacy, of course.
best one. But we'll get into that on another episode. And you are Scream Queen 514 with an A. You didn't mix it up like I did.
I was like, where are you going with this? Yes, with an A.
Yeah,
Um,
you're something of a scream queen yourself.
but yes, Evil Dead Thing, Evil Scream, Evil's Cream, however you refer to him, he is the genius behind our podcast name.
And what a struggle that was, though.
That was a struggle. That was like a month of back and forth
Like
of
we,
like wanting to die. It was awful. And then
yeah,
anytime we came up with something good, it was taken.
yeah, it was a crisis for a while there. We were gonna be the podcast with no name, but then
Just another horror podcast.
more of a fluke than anything. I actually got a name for us to put this out under.
No,
And
I like it. I like it. And obviously,
you
those of you,
have tweaked it though, because it was past tense originally, and now it's present tense. Works a little
yes,
better.
it does.
So it wasn't just me.
No, but like after all the hardships of coming up with a name, you were definitely the one that came through because I was ready to hang myself, quite literally. Um,
Keep praising me.
and obviously, I love the name for reasons that would be obvious to anybody who knows anything about my taste in horror movies. Um, and I feel like if you know where our podcast name comes from, you're definitely hot. Like hot people get our podcast title.
Yeah, hot and cool,
But
both.
for those who are kind of scratching their heads right now, it is the tagline from Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Your first horror movie.
My first horror movie. Yes, the movie that popped my cherry, a movie that is very close to my heart, franchise that is very close to my heart. For those who don't know, that is my entire personality.
Wait, you like Friday the 13th?
I do, I know, right? Isn't that weird?
Wait, your profile picture, it makes sense now.
It does.
The new
Uh,
blood. Which,
Speak,
yeah,
yes.
I think we're thinking the same thing right
I
now.
think we're thinking the same thing. So my profile picture was made by the incredibly talented Real Sean Hunt at Real Sean Hunt on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure it's Real Sean Hunt on Instagram too. He is also the creator of all of the artwork for our podcast. Incredibly talented guy, and we
Yeah,
both love him very dearly.
we do. Without him, this would all be clip art.
It would be, right?
Like,
I'm not, I have not one creative bone in my body, so very grateful to him for hooking us up and putting up with my constant requests for like little tweaks and changes because I can be a little bit difficult.
didn't want to
So
say
many,
anything.
shut up. So many thanks to you, Sean. We shout you out. We love you. If you're on Twitter or Instagram, please give Real Sean Hunt a follow. You will not regret it.
Totally. Great artwork. Great sense of humor too.
Yes,
Toilet humor, literally.
toilet humor. I was gonna say toilet humor. He loves to make a joke about um, pooping or farting. It's probably why I like him so much. I feel like mentally we're probably the same age a little bit.
Yeah, that and Carrot Top. Lots of Carrot Top references.
Yes,
So
and
if in
if you're me, lots of Corey Feldman references.
yeah, because while we were waiting for artwork for this podcast, Corey Feldman was the placeholder, just because he made a joke of it.
I have nothing personal against Corey Feldman.
No,
He's just is he my least favorite Tommy Jarvis? I feel like
uh,
I'm very clear on who my favorite is. It's Tom Matthews.
I agree.
Um, but like least favorite, I'm tempted to say Corey Feldman, but like I don't want to put John Shepard in second place. I feel like they're both just in last place. There's first place and last place. That's all.
Yeah, I agree with first place. I personally would put Corey Feldman ahead of Part 5. That could have been anyone in Part 5.
I
I'm
mean,
out.
he did end Jason Voorhees on his own, so
Yeah, which people like to remind you of.
yes, many. Anyways, it's fine.
Yeah,
Moving on. since we're not discussing a Friday the 13th movie today, let's keep it moving.
We'll get there though.
So I think we covered the Who the Devil Are You segment.
Yeah. I mean, I know who you are already. Yeah, we've done a
Um,
little introduction, kind of.
so, for those who don't know, what is your favorite horror movie of all time?
My favorite horror movie of all time. Probably The Shining right now. It's been The Shining for a long time. And while I
That's a great movie.
like it could be any of like a dozen movies from the 80s. I mean, I'm
It's
sort of
really
like you.
hard to narrow down.
Yeah, I'm sort of like you in like a great movie from the 80s. Great horror movie at least just hits so different, and I think The Shining for me is like one of those movies where I wouldn't change anything. Although I know Stephen King's not the biggest fan. I think he's wrong though. The Shining. How about you?
You're not going to hear me publicly say that The Shining that Stephen King is wrong, but I agree. I like the movie.
I think he's softened on it a bit though over the years.
He
Doctor
has.
Sleep helped, I believe.
And it's funny that The Shining is such a special movie for me personally because I was not allowed to watch horror in my house growing up. And when I finally got to the age where my mom was kind of like, okay, let's kind of dip our toes in a little, The Shining was the first horror movie I ever watched with her. And
Okay,
she definitely wasn't into horror. She wasn't into blood, gore, guts, all of that.
okay.
Um, but she was into a few, like the horror movies she showed me were always light on gore, but somehow just so iconic. And The Shining was the first one. And she still winced and like turned away when Halloran got killed. I think that's kind of funny, but such a nostalgic thing for me because I used to watch it with her all the time. So such a good movie.
Nice.
But for me personally, my favorite, I guess I'm kind of juggling a lot of, I'm juggling a lot of movies here. I want to say like my favorite is really any horror movie from the 80s because that's really where I live. But right now I have two in my top spot and they're
Okay.
tied, and it's Friday the 13th part 6 Jason Lives and Friday the 13th part 7 New Blood.
I see a
Neck
pattern.
and neck. I mean, I feel like there's a difference between my favorite, my personal favorite, and then like an objective favorite. If I
Okay.
had to pick an objective favorite, I would probably say The Thing.
Yeah,
Like that
that's
is a perfect movie.
yeah, that's competing with The Shining for me also. That's one of those that has to be up there, especially if
Exactly.
you're an 80s horror fan. But
Exactly. And I
but
know that, New Blood isn't topping any greatest horror movies of all time lists. But for me personally, like it's just fun. Same with Jason Lives. I think in a lot of ways, horror is not only an overlooked genre, but any sequels in the horror genre are usually talked about in a derogatory way,
but
especially once you get up there to part 6 or 7.
yeah, particularly Friday the 13th, it gets slandered a lot.
Um, I mean, I see it for Halloween. I see it for Texas Chainsaw.
Well, yeah, when the Halloween got into the 90s, got a bit messy. The Fawn trilogy. Remember that? I know you love that.
Oh, I love part 4,
Part 4, yeah, that's a banger.
but I can't. Part 5, I hate with the passion of 1,000 suns because fuck you for killing Rachel and giving me Tina. Ugh.
Not too much on
Sorry.
Tina.
No, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to offend, but Rachel was an absolute goddess, and I am a staunch advocate against bringing back a final girl who has previously survived just to kill her. I hate that trope. I don't know if it's a trope, but it's a thing that's happened. It happened to Alice in Friday the 13th Part 2, Sally in the 2022 version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Which you love.
No, but I can't stand. Why do you do this to these iconic final girls, and to me, Rachel is iconic. I mean, I know she's not a Sidney Prescott, but I love her. She looked out for my girl Jamie.
Yeah, and the way they killed her off, it wasn't productive. It didn't lead to anything good. It just
It
led to a bland 80s slasher movie.
it led to more screen time for Tina,
It did lead
but
to a lot of that, and she didn't even get to be a final girl either. So
no. So yeah, I kind of felt like it was a waste. If you want to kill her and make way for like a newer, better final girl, fine. But no, they did her so dirty, and I feel like that was the moment that Jamie lost the last vestige of like, I'm trying to think of the word. I guess the person that was closest to her, the person that looked out for her, like really Rachel was her mother figure,
yeah,
and
exactly. And then
just added
suddenly,
to the heartbreak.
yeah, and then suddenly in this movie, that person is Tina, who we've just met, and in a
Yeah, there's
way,
no history, there's no relationship. It's just weird.
I guess Doctor Loomis kind of fills a similar sort of role, but it's not the same. It's not Rachel.
It's not.
How did
Anyways,
how
another, yeah,
go ahead?
no,
No,
no.
I was just gonna say, how did we get here? We're talking about Family
I was just gonna
Five.
say like another tangent. No, we were talking about
This is gonna happen a lot, I fear.
well, I am high as balls, so yes.
Well, we started out
Um
with The Thing, I think. You were talking about that being the
well, like
objective best.
just like I feel like yeah, there's movies that are subjective. I feel like I mean all movies are your taste in movies is always going to be subjective, but then you have some movies that are just it's universal. They're universal classics, and I mean you're free not to like them, but you can't argue with me that The Thing is not a classic. You can't argue to me that The Shining is not a classic, you know?
Agreed.
Um
I won't. I'm not
so
gonna argue that. I'm gonna let you have
so
that.
so no, but that's it. It's there's a difference to me between my like my all-time list, which is my list, and a lot of people will disagree with it. I'm seeing more love for New Blood now, but like for a long time it was hated.
Yeah, people have softened on it in the last few years,
So
which I
that's
like.
it, I guess. Like my all-time favorite, yes, of the Friday franchise, which is my favorite franchise. It's very personal to me. It's something I love deeply, but then if I want to kind of step out of the box and be a little bit less predictable, yeah, I would say The Thing is it's never an easy answer with me, and that's something you're going to learn.
You are difficult.
So,
I can agree with that.
moving on, what is your favorite subgenre or what are your favorite subgenres?
Um, Slasher movies, really.
That's it?
Like, yeah,
No.
it's my favorite subgenre. I'd say. You got Halloween, you got Friday the 13th. It's like all the franchises that were my entry point into the horror genre itself with
No, I'm
slashers.
not arguing. Look, slashers are my thing. I love slashers too. But you don't have another subgenre that you love dearly? Because I hear you talk about slashers a lot. I think we all talk about slashers more than we talk about any other subgenre.
Yeah, it's the one I default towards, certainly. I mean, I like supernatural slashers and supernatural horrors, I mean. But
Okay.
yeah, slashers, I know it's like the basic answer, but I guess I'm basic like that.
Oh, I'm a
That's the way
basic
I go
bitch too, so
towards.
it's fine.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but yeah.
I slashers is my number one too, but I can't let this moment pass without kind of giving a shout out to my second favorite, which
Okay,
is the zombie subgenre. Romero. I got
the
into
king.
Romero's movies, The King, The Godfather. I got into his movies a long time ago. Like when I first started getting into horror after slashers, I had a friend who like I think it was for sure it was Day of the Dead. Bub was my introduction to zombie movies. And like if
Best
that
zombie.
doesn't sell you, I don't know what will, because that's just Day of the Dead is a perfect movie. And then I went down the Romero rabbit hole.
It's a good rabbit hole to go down.
It really is. And then you have, stuff that's not Romero, which Romero's my top, but the Dawn of the Dead remake by Zack Snyder, that is a perfect fucking movie.
Yeah, he was cooking with that one,
He was.
especially the opening. Like it really started out strong.
The opening, the score, the cover of Disturbed, like it's just perfect movie.
Yeah, I love zombie movies as well, but I guess when I think of zombie movies, I do mostly think of Romero. Like that's the standard when it comes to zombie movies for me.
Well, we wouldn't have a lot of the movies we have today without him, that's for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, I like zombie movies, but I love Romero movies.
I feel like I feel like we're on the same wavelength. There's zombie movies,
We often are.
which
Like,
are on a very high tier for me, and then you have Romero movies that are zombie movies, but somehow they're on a higher tier. So,
maybe not so much Survival of the Dead,
no. Well, you know
which
what?
one
I
of his
didn't
last
hate it,
movies. If
but obviously the Holy Trinity is Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead.
exactly, and Land of the Dead I
You can't
liked.
really beat that. The stuff that everybody else seems to think is garbage, I'm always out there defending it.
Yeah, I mean you could say you like trash. I guess that's fine.
I
You can
do.
call a movie trash. Return
I,
of the Living Dead, actually. Speaking of trash, that's another standard set for zombie movies.
but trash to me is complimentary. Like if I call something trash, it's like trashy, it's campy, it's fun. Garbage
Yes,
is like the derogatory version.
yeah. There's trash and there's garbage, and we love trash.
We
The
love trash,
character and the
especially when she
concept.
takes off her clothes again.
Yes.
I feel like we're gonna have to get into our deep love of nudity at one point, but not now.
Yeah, we'll do a nudity episode.
Nudity episode.
Welcome to the nudity episode. We're going to talk about boobs for an hour,
Boobs and bush.
but
All
not
right.
today.
Not today. What are
Today
we
we're
talking about today?
today we're talking about a different classic, a horror
Care
movie.
Are we sure it's a horror movie? Because there's a lot of
There's
mixed feelings
Discord.
about this.
There's Discord on this, but it's a horror movie.
It's a horror movie. All
It's a
right. So
monster
what are
movie.
it is a monster movie.
In many ways, it's the monster movie.
I
Is that
mean,
or is that too
it's
much? Am I taking it too far now?
no. I mean, look, I love monster movies.
There are no monster movies besides this movie.
This is definitely the well, okay, no, see, I was on board and then I had to kind of
Reel me in.
let my stoner brain organize my thoughts. And no, I'm sorry. It is not the monster movie like the Universal monsters are obviously
The monster movies. Okay.
the monster movies. So
Yeah,
I can't give it. But you know what I
I
can
got
give it credit
overexcited.
for? But you know what we can give it credit for?
I don't know.
Being
Tell me.
the first ever summer blockbuster.
The origin of Summerween.
The origin of Summerween, the birth of Summerween. It's essentially a birthing video.
Yes. Let's go with that. It's Jaws.
It's Jaws and Bruce. We love Bruce.
Steven Spielberg didn't love Bruce so much though.
You
They
know
they
what?
they got that mechanical shark in the salt water and it just fried.
It did, and you know what? I'm glad it did. It's one of these situations where everything is going wrong with your shoot and somehow you miraculously pull out a 5-star absolute masterpiece
5-star
through
masterpiece.
yes, absolutely. And there's no hesitation for me on that. If I could give it a 6-star, I would. I love it. But everything that went wrong, I'm sure at the time, yeah, Spielberg was probably really frustrated and thinking, I'm pretty sure he there was a point that he got to where he thought, okay, that's it. This is my career done over.
Yeah, I watched a documentary recently and he basically said that he thought this was going to be the ruin of his career because he'd already had a flop before this with the Sugarland Express and then everything seemed to be going wrong with Jaws and he thought he was cooked, and he wasn't cooked. He
No, he
cooked.
wasn't. He did. And I think it's like one of the rare instances where all of the things that went wrong
Somehow contributed to it
to a
becoming
better
a classic.
product.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like if I could see the other version, if I could watch the version that Spielberg originally like had in his vision, um, I feel like I wouldn't enjoy it as much. I mean, I can't say it with certainty, but I'm pretty confident
Well, it would be a very different movie
it would. And
with a different cast as well.
that's true.
They had different ideas for who would play the central trio of Quint, Hooper,
As long as his original
and the other
vision did
one,
not
Brody,
include Mrs. Brody banging Matt Hooper,
like in the
that's
book.
fine. That's really the only thing about the story that I hate.
Yeah, he does do that in the book, but not in the movie. They changed that, and that's for the better.
It is for the better.
Like
I don't think anybody wanted to see that.
it would have made that dynamic on the boat of the final third of the movie a little bit more awkward than it needed to be. It was already
Just a
kind of
little.
awkward. Like we already have the differences between Hooper and Quint, introducing a bit of drama to that. We don't need Hooper also fucking Brody's wife.
Do we think there was sexual tension on the boat?
I do not. I know some
Not.
people do, but not me. These are free men doing men things in a
That's
manly
true.
way.
The movie goes out of its way to show you glimpses of their masculinity.
Yeah,
Mind you,
these are men menning.
I mean, I feel like what you're really describing is Quint. He's the man manning.
Yeah, but
Hooper is the intellectual, and Brody, bless his heart, he just wants to be back on land. He's scared of the water.
he does. He wants to be back on land with his friend the mayor, enjoying July the 4th.
No, he wants to be back at home with his wife, getting drunk and fooling around.
I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah,
we did just watch this movie.
we did. We
We did
watched it
a
several times. We
we did a
watched it on.
refresher.
I've watched it more often than you. Like just in the recent weeks, we watched it on the anniversary together with our friends. I watched it on July 4th,
Oh,
and
you did.
then I did.
Okay.
I wasn't feeling well, and it was just like a marathon of movies, like my standard 4th of July movies. And even though I had just watched it, like it never gets old. And then we just watched it again this morning as a precursor to recording this. And I have a ticket to go see it in IMAX on August 29th. It is going to be a Bruce summer.
You're the Jaws girl now.
Hot Bruce summer. Oh no, please. I love Jaws, but no. I'm the
Move
Jason
over
girl.
Friday the
Please.
13th.
No, stop that. That's not
J-
funny.
Jason, you're out. Bruce, in. Yeah, I've actually half of the times that I've watched these movies have been with you. Well, this movie, I mean, has been with you. I've watched it 4 times, twice with you. It's not. I'm not as
You're
attached to it, I guess, as you are.
you're welcome, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. You've done a lot to fix me and my taste in movies and the
We
movies I
still have a long
watch.
way to go, but it's okay.
Okay,
We'll get. I'm teasing.
okay.
I love you. You know I love you. And your questionable, sometimes questionable takes.
But I don't have a questionable take when it comes to Jaws. I do love it. I don't give it 5 stars, but I do love it.
That might be a questionable take. All right, what do you give it? What is your official letterbox rating?
4 stars, which is good for me. Have you seen my letterbox curve?
Yes, you
People have
are
gotten mad at me about that.
you are
So many 2.5
incredibly.
star
I
ratings.
mean, I've gotten mad at you about that. You are incredibly hard to please. You are yeah. You're very hard to please, whereas I
I also
give
watch a
out
lot of trash deliberately. Just skewer it a little bit.
it does. Meanwhile, I'm over here giving out 5-star ratings like candy because I
Noticed.
love everything.
But,
And it's
but gi-
funny because you give me shit for my letterbox curve, and I give you shit for yours. So it's very balanced.
we're each other's biggest op,
We are
especially you. But
really all right.
but yeah, I think 5 stars for this isn't controversial though. I'll let you have
No,
that one.
Five
It's a
star.
pretty good movie.
Are you insane? You are the controversy one. Controversial.
You are the controversy one.
Yes.
That's my
I'm
new
I'm
identity.
I'm
You're
just gonna
high.
yes, you know I am. I'm just gonna leave the edibles over there.
You under the influence for this
You
podcast, this historic event for us.
do you have a beer in your hand right now?
Yes.
Then shut your pie hole. All right. You are the controversial one, sir. 4 stars for Jaws. I'm not going to give you shit for it. You know, to each his own. And I know your ranking system, rating system, well enough to know that 4 is very generous for you.
Yeah, it's a very positive rating. Like a normal person, be even
Okay.
higher.
Well, that you know, we're just talking about movies that you know subjectively people may or may not like, but what's not subjective about them is that they are classics. And I said The Shining, and I said The Thing. This movie belongs in that group, in my opinion. It's 5 stars across the board, and if somebody doesn't enjoy it, that's fine. It doesn't take away from the masterpiece that this movie is.
Yeah, it's only a slight character flaw that they have if they don't like Jaws. Let's not make too much of it. But
But
we,
no, it's a masterpiece. Like, come on, still holds up. It still gets re-released into theater. Like, you know, it's going to be in IMAX this August. They're still showing it at drive-ins in the US. Their merch, I mean, I've seen so much merch pop up online over the last few weeks. It's still just such a big deal, and it's a
yeah,
tradition for a lot of horror fans, like a rewatch in the summer.
but is it a horror movie?
All right, we're going there.
Yeah, let's go there.
All
Let's
right,
talk about whether Jaws is a horror movie or whether it's an adventure movie, whether it's a thriller, whether it's all of those things.
let's go there. You first. What are your thoughts?
It's a horror movie. It starts out with people getting eaten, transitions into more people getting eaten, and then it sort of becomes like a languid kind of adventure movie for a while once they get on the boat and start hunting down this shark for revenge. But even then, we get someone getting eaten by a shark, which is a horrific image,
It
effective
is.
image.
It
So
is
it's not just a horror movie. It's also
a
like,
slasher.
you think a slasher kind of
I
has that
think
format,
I think it has slasher elements.
and it's
Definitely a creature feature, monster movie.
yeah, which is
Like a
enough for me. I mean, it's also a thriller. It's also like a small town drama movie. It's also an adventure movie, but it can be all those things and still be a horror movie,
you
which is where
can.
I stand.
And this doesn't just apply to Jaws. You have a lot of movies that kind of fallen into a lot of different categories. Let's take one of your favorites, for
Oh yeah.
example, Halloween Ends. Definitely a horror movie, but also a rom-com.
Okay.
And I'm just trolling you.
Yeah,
Um,
it's definitely both those things. It's not that first thing that you said. It's not one of my favorites.
I know it's not. No, but in all seriousness, there's a lot of horror movies. Any genre, really. You can kind of fall into a lot of different categories, and it just because a movie isn't horror from the opening scene to the end credits doesn't make it any less horror just because it's like moments of horror, elements of horror. But
Yeah,
we can't discount that an entire generation, not even an entire generation, multiple generations of
yeah,
people are afraid to go in the water because of this movie, myself included.
yeah, precisely. Like it's okay for a movie to like hop genres as it goes along. It doesn't negate the fact that it's all of those genres at once. And this is still a horror movie. Like I said, you get people getting eaten by sharks. There's blood. There's gore. There's loose limbs. There's
Exactly.
there's Hooper digging around inside a shark's stomach. Horror.
I mean, exactly. And you know, the whole discourse over is it horror, is it not horror? A lot of people kind of fall back on it's not scary, which I'm so like I'm so over
Subjective.
that. I'm so over that conversation. I'm not scared by a lot of what I watch. Like I like to think I'm a grown ass adult. I am sometimes, but a lot of it
Yeah,
I know is outside of the realm of possibility. There are some movies that still scare me. I don't watch horror movies to be scared. I watch horror movies to be entertained in whatever shape or form that takes.
yeah, exactly. Like, it's very rarely that. I mean, I would say I never get scared by a horror movie. Like, I'll feel tensity, I'll feel unnerved sometimes, but not scared. So for that to be a standard, I don't really understand. Es-
I don't
es-
either.
Especially for a movie like Jaws, a summer horror movie about a shark. Like, how scared are you meant to be? Like, it's situational, isn't it? Really, it's
It
it's
is.
entertainment, but it's still horror.
It is. And you just said the magic word. It's entertainment. It's entertaining. It's however you view Jaws, be it as a horror, an adventure, an action, or God forbid a comedy. I guess there's a lot of comedic elements to it too.
Yeah, there's humor
Um,
in there.
Either
The
way,
little
it
the,
works.
the little side characters can be funny. That
I mean, I think Hooper is the comedic relief. Hooper is my Shayla, so I love him. He's my. I mean, look, I love every character in this movie, save for that fuck ass mayor. But
in
Matt
his anchor
Hooper,
suit.
oh jeez, yeah, that fucking suit. I hate him so much. But no, Matt Hooper is my favorite character. He's just so me coded, like the sarcasm, the way he like addresses the mayor with so much disdain. I just, I just love him. He's sarcastic, and sarcasm is my first language, I feel like.
Yeah, and he's not the sarcastic guy that's sleeping with Brody's wife either, which is even better because that might have ruined it. That would have tarnished the character, I think, in
It
this
would have
movie.
made him a lot less likable for sure. But to your question, is it horror? I mean, yes. That's all I have to say on that. Yes, I'm not even going to elaborate. But just yes, period, full stop. But I will get into the opening scene, which is one of my favorite opening scenes of all time. So effective, like simple but effective and incredibly visceral. And anybody who wants to have the is this horror debate, I invite them to check out the opening scene because they dive right into the horror in the first 5 minutes with Chrissy running down the beach, jumping in the water to go for a skinny dip while her date passes out trying to get his clothes off, which
Hate
is
when that
followed,
happens.
right? That's like, I mean, I feel like if he had known that there was a shark in the water, he probably would have stayed on the beach. So
Yeah, he
I
wouldn't have
think
even
he's the
tried to
lucky
get his
one.
clothes off.
Well, that's it. But it's such a simple scene because she's in the water, she's screaming how much it hurts,
And it's
which,
just a hopeless situation because he's passed out, he can't do anything. Not that he'd be able to do anything anyway,
well, that's it. And
but
I'm just gonna go on a mini tangent real quick.
go for it.
The when she's screaming how much it hurts, I always kind of relay that scene with Rob's death in Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
He's
Where
killing me.
he's killing me. It's the dialogue isn't, it's not deep, it's nothing. It's very much direct and to the point, and very visceral, like I said.
Yeah.
And again, there's nothing you can do. He's telling Trish to run, just like, Chrissy, like she's screaming, "Well, what's this guy gonna do?" Even if he was awake, think he'd swim out and save her? I wouldn't. Sorry.
No.
Like, I'm not gonna become a meal.
Yeah, I'd be with her in spirit, but not physically.
You've got my moral support from the shore. But
Exactly.
yeah,
I'll cheer for you to escape that shark, but I wouldn't do anything to intervene.
well, that's it.
He's
But I've
got me
always
beat,
felt
I'm
that
afraid.
those two scenes were very similar. Like there's a lot of parallels. But she's screaming and he passes out, and then she gets dragged under, and then the water is just
Still.
silent and calm. And it's such an effective scene because he once he's passed out, and I mean the viewer knows, all right, well, this is the end for her. Nobody's coming for her.
Mm. Yeah,
She's help she it's like it adds a level of helplessness. It's like you have somebody right there, but it's just not happening.
yeah, that's essentially what I was going to say. It's in that way, it's kind of a pure horror because it's pure helplessness. Like
Exactly.
it negates this whole is it horror debate from the outset because the opening scene is such a strong scene of horror.
Exactly. You get me.
I know it's like we're on the same wavelength. It's like you've conditioned me somehow.
But it's very much the, help is not coming. The
And
cavalry is not coming over the hill.
and if it was coming, the mayor would try to stop it
Right?
because it's July the 4th, and
Mayor Fuckface.
I don't think that's the character's actual name, but let's go with that.
Mayor Vaughn.
Mayor
Whatever.
Vaughn.
For the purposes of this episode, I will be referring to him as Mayor Fuckface.
I'll allow it. But yeah,
Um,
there's more important things than keeping people safe, and that's tourist money over July the 4th weekend, which is where the movie goes from that opening that you love so much. It goes into
we
sort of small town commerce drama for a few minutes. Not a horror.
horror, and definitely, like, for me, top 5 opening scenes of any movie. Like the
You think so?
bonfire. Yeah, it's like it's not just the way it's made, it's the vibes for me. I am very big on vibes in any movie. Like, and when you open and you have the bonfire and they're all drinking around the bonfire, and the summer vibes are just immaculate. And then the
Then it,
attempted skinny dip. That's when the vibes change a bit.
yeah, it all goes to shit there.
But no, I love the immaculate summer vibes of that entire scene. So, top 5, maybe even top 3. Great opening.
Damn, you really love it. I don't know where I'd place it. I've never really thought of that.
Oh,
It is
that's
a good
okay.
it is a good opening scene though.
You don't have to place it. No pressure.
No, it's a bit short notice for me to place it, so I won't do that. But, but yeah,
So,
the mayor doesn't really care.
no, the mayor doesn't care,
He's
and
got dollar bills to think about,
dollar
tourists to think
bills and
about.
anchors on his suit.
Yeah, a suit that stays on throughout the movie.
Not the whole movie, but he does wear it twice.
Okay, what else does he wear?
He wears exactly what you would expect the mayor of like some Cape Codish town to wear. And he looks like a douche. He looks like
Yeah,
he has a stick up his ass. He looks like a Chad. And I did give this movie 5 stars. I have one problem with this movie. It's not enough to bring down my rating. But
no,
and it's the fact that this fuck ass Mayor Fuckface, officially, that is his new name. My only fault with this movie is that he survived. Not only did he survive, he's in part 2 and he's still the fucking mayor.
yeah, he
What
doesn't
is
get his
wrong with this
comeuppance.
town?
There's no justice in this town. Well, it's American town for you. If there's no justice in this town. He gets to keep his job. He keeps his life. Keeps all his toes.
It's insane. Like,
Keeps his anchor jacket. I assume.
one
Does he
of the
wear that in part two? I've not watched part two in a while. I
I
assume he
forget.
doesn't.
I don't know. I forget. I don't really know. I've seen the whole franchise several times, but
You
I can't tell you what he wears in part 2.
so you've watched every Jaws movie more than once?
I have.
I haven't. This is the only one I've watched more than once. I felt like I didn't need to see the others again.
Look, part 2 is decent. Nothing's ever going to live up to part 1. Part 2 is decent. At least you have Roy Scheider who comes back as Chief Brody.
No, they did the sequels because I guess the money was there based on the original being a blockbuster.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
And
why not go back in
I
the water?
I remember seeing somewhere, I could be wrong. I invite anybody who can dispute this claim that I'm about to make to tell me so in the comments.
Hell yeah!
Politely,
So if
please.
you want to get
But
one over on Marianne, here's your chance. Episode 1.
if I'm not mistaken, I believe the only reason Roy Scheider returned for part 2 was because he was still under contract with the movie studio, Universal.
Okay.
I believe, yeah, Universal.
They still had contract actors in the 70s.
I don't know when that ended, but
I know it was an old Hollywood thing. But
he owed them one more picture. And I'm
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the only reason he ended up in Jaws 2. Again, I invite anybody to correct me if I got that wrong, but I'm pretty sure I remember that.
And he wasn't in the others, right?
He was not.
We got Louis Gossett Jr. and we got Michael Caine in the future sequels.
Well, his wife came back. Mrs. Brody came back for Jaws the Revenge
Oh
in
yeah.
what is probably, I'm trying to think of how to put this delicately. Like,
Okay.
I love a shark movie. I will watch a shark movie, but the concept of
Same.
that movie is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. A shark out for Brody blood. Specifically
Yeah.
Brody blood. Come the fuck on.
Yeah. And it tracks them to where do they go? Is it the Bahamas they go to?
Yep.
Yeah,
Tracks them to the Bahamas from New England.
like sounds like a good place for them to go to escape the wrath of a shark. Personally, I'd go to like somewhere central in a country or a continent.
Yeah,
Like,
landlocked maybe.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if they'd have gone to Luxembourg, what's that shark gonna do? Grow
You make a
legs?
very good point.
Like, these people are stupid. They deserved what
Well,
happened to them.
it's
Did Michael
yeah.
Caine die in that movie? I know he got a house out of it, but did he die in the actual movie
And here is where, like,
with his
I've watched
plane?
them. I don't remember the details. I don't believe he does.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure he survives. One that I think is underrated, and it's very stupid too, but like, one of those trash movies, but trash in a good way.
Okay.
Jaws 3D. The 3D is absolute dookie. It's awful,
Yeah,
but it's just
I
so
remember.
funny. It ends up being like a comedy. You want to argue about whether something is a horror movie? Let's argue about Jaws 3D.
Yeah, I remember. I think I was like not necessarily watching the movie itself, but like looking through it and making gifs to post on Twitter. And the 3D effects, they're really something. Like,
Yeah.
so 3D looks like a masterpiece next to that. But
Wow.
I don't remember the actual plot of the movie itself, whether that's really great.
It was me neither, but again, it's like a water park.
Is that the SeaWorld one?
Yeah, SeaWorld maybe. There's like an actress. I think I need to rewatch them.
Yeah,
I think I did the entire franchise in 2023.
that's what you get for trying to put a shark in a zoo setting.
Pretty much.
Deserved. Like, leave him alone.
Fuck SeaWorld also.
Okay. Is that how we're starting this podcast out? We're making enemies.
We don't like SeaWorld. I don't like SeaWorld. Fuck SeaWorld.
I've never been. Believe it or not, we don't have SeaWorld in Britain
No?
on this little island.
Well,
We have some zoos that have underwater parts. We have like little sharks, no great whites, of course.
there's one in Spain called Loro Park.
Okay,
Um and the only reason I know about it is from this incoming tangent from a documentary called Blackfish. It's a great documentary, and it pretty much exposed SeaWorld and Marineland, which is a park in Canada that's pretty much like SeaWorld, for their practices in keeping whales in captivity,
okay.
because there are people that have died. And I believe that documentary was the catalyst for SeaWorld finally ending their breeding program.
With
Like,
the
because they
orcas,
yeah, because they would breed them in captivity and keep them their whole life. And like, honestly, I recommend you watch Blackfish. It's such a good documentary.
I
It's
haven't
sad.
watched it.
It's sad,
I've heard of it, but I've not watched it. I know what it's about.
but
I, I can
watch
picture
it,
the artwork for it
watch
as we
it,
speak.
and then I will ask you your feelings on SeaWorld. And I feel like in episode 2, you're going to be like, fuck SeaWorld.
Yeah,
Anyways.
episode 2. Fuck SeaWorld. We're not talking about horror movies this week. It's all about how much we hate SeaWorld.
Yes, fuck SeaWorld.
I did
Anyways,
I did watch a documentary about dolphins called The Cove, and that involved SeaWorld.
they're the worst.
And again, it wasn't in a positive light.
No.
Basically, well, should I go into detail about SeaWorld's
No,
involvement
no, no.
in
Let's
dolphin
not.
calls and how they
Like,
sort
I know,
of
I already know the answer to that because I've seen
okay,
these documentaries. So
okay.
it's fine.
We'll
But
get back to Jaws. We'll get back to not a real shark, but a robotic
well,
one, a mechanical shark.
he's
There are
real in my mind.
there is some real shark footage.
There is.
They had to make slight alterations to the actual story of the movie because they couldn't get the footage that they wanted.
Yes.
But there is real shark footage. They originally
There,
wanted to
there's.
use train sharks, but
I'm glad they didn't.
it turns out that that's not a thing. So they had to
Yeah,
go with Bruce, the mechanical shark that didn't like salt water and regularly
exactly.
broke.
So we transition from Mayor Fuckface not giving a shit that Chrissy has drowned, or was, I guess the official cause of death is shark attack. That's what he put on the death certificate.
No, they
So
said
Mayor
boat
Mayor
accident, didn't they?
well, no. Originally, you see the scene where Brody is on the phone with uh, the medical examiner, I guess, their coroner, whatever. And the coroner says shark attack because that's what he types into the typewriter, and you see it on the screen.
Okay.
But then Mayor Fuckface gets involved
And he
because,
tries to say he sells the boat
yeah.
accident storyline.
But the coroner is in that same scene, and he changes his mind too because Brody says to him like, "You'll stand by that."
Political
But
pressure.
the only reason that this entire thing is happening is because Chief Brody's dipshit deputy told the mayor that they were planning on closing the beaches.
Yeah, he
So
spoke out.
kick it into
Loose
high
lips
gear
sink
and
ships.
right. Yeah, I mean, Chief Brody doesn't even trust him to print on the signs, right?
Hell yeah. And next thing you know, beach is packed. No one wants to go in the water. But the mayor sees an old man that I guess he doesn't really like very much, and he encourages him to go in the water.
Oh, no, you're actually skipping ahead.
I'm skipping ahead.
You are. Well, no, because that's not the next scene. The next scene is
Go from
Alex Kintner's death. We can't skip over the Fuck Them Children cinematic universe.
does does that not happen after the scene that I was describing, where everyone starts to go into the water because the mayor encourages this old guy to go in there with his family?
I am very high. Now I'm confused.
And then there's not the real shark, there's the fake shark that turns out to be some kids.
Okay, no, I got it. I got it. So no, Mayor Fuckface says that he is not closing the beaches. So then we cut to the beach scene where Alex Kintner dies. Chief Brody is there with his wife and his kids, but he's not working. He's not in
Oh my god, you're
uniform.
right. Maybe I'm high. It's all coming together now.
So he doesn't seem to be working. He seems to be there. But I mean, he is definitely watching, keeping an eye on things.
But he's also catching some rays.
He's catching some rays. He's living his best life, self care, all that. So then you see Pippin in the water, the dog playing with the stick.
Best
We
character.
we see Alex Kintner, and then we see some unnamed character, a lady floating on some inflatable, and then we get. I don't know if this is like the introduction to the Fuck Them Kids cinematic universe. I like to think it is. I'm probably wrong. It's definitely probably the goriest when that movie came out, when Jaws came out. There was probably not another scene like it where you don't see the child die, but like the scene where his raft gets popped and you see this big splash in the water and there's like an eruption of blood everywhere. That
Yeah.
was probably like the most graphic child death ever shown on screen up
Yeah,
until that point.
relative to the era, it's quite graphic. Not so much today, of course, but back then,
Yeah,
it is sort of an entry point into this Fuck Them Kids cinematic universe that you mentioned,
it
which we're both
is.
big fans of, by the way.
Yes, we're both big fans of Fuck
Like,
Them Kids.
kill 'em all,
Yes.
adults, children.
Wh-
And they didn't hurt the dog in this movie, did they?
no,
He made it out. He was smart, unlike that ginger kid. He wasn't so smart.
I think there's a lot of debate on this. I see a lot of people say that he's Pippin's dead. I don't know. I am optimistic, so I like to say he swam to safety.
Yeah, we're Pippin Truthers here.
But we didn't see him swim to safety because the camera was too focused on the Alex Kittner situation.
Yeah,
But he did. He swam to safety. He went, got his stick, ran back to his owner.
yeah, and he's still alive now, 50 years later.
He is. That dog is just outliving us all.
But Alex Kintner is not,
Alex Kittner is not, sadly.
because his mother let him go
Let
in the
him
water.
I let him go back in the water for 10 minutes after his
I know.
fingers were already pruning.
I know, right? It's just negligence, and she has the nerve to blame Brody for this.
That is one of my least favorite scenes in
Where
this
she
movie.
where she comes up and slaps him, and
Yeah, I mean the mayor's standing right there. Like she should have been slapping the shit out of Mayor Fuckface.
yeah, but instead in that moment he's villainized by her
And Mayor
and seen as
Fuckface
the
is just
enemy,
standing there saying nothing.
just styling and profiling with his anchor suit.
Well, that's it. So yes,
She couldn't hit a man that was so dapperly dressed, though. I get it.
no, it's not dressed that. He's dressed like Leisure Suit Larry. I don't know if anybody remembers that game, but yeah,
Yeah, I have. I have a whole bunch of those games. There's several of them.
I am not at all surprised,
Well,
and we'll leave it at that.
they were given away for free on Steam, so I claim them.
No,
I've not played them. I'm sure they're
they're
good
quite
though.
they're quite fun.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to turn it on me right now, but we've established that you've played them.
I have played a lot of questionable games.
Same. You know
I
this.
I know this, and we will end the conversation here.
We'll get back to Jaws.
We will get
We
back to Jaws.
we don't need to follow that tangent.
I think the scene with Alex Kintner. I mean, it's obviously it's horror to the it's not horror crowd, but like the thing that strikes me about the whole scene is it's something that's so relatable. I don't know if that's the case for you living in the UK.
We're an island.
What?
We're an island. There's water
Y-
surrounded on our
yes,
sides.
yes, but you're a pale bunch.
We are.
Traditionally, I know that like the younger generation in the UK is very big on tans, but historically, you're a pale bunch. It's a rainy country. So I'm not I have no clue. I just assume that the beach culture where you live is probably not the same as in the US. And,
Certainly
uh,
not.
Canada too, to a degree. Like growing up, that's what I did in the summer. My parents took me all over different beaches. So you watch that scene before Alex Kintner dies, before the horror sets in. And you just see all these families on the beach, with their blankets and their picnic baskets and inflatable toys. That was my childhood. And I feel like a lot of people can kind of relate to that. That's what you
Yeah.
did in the summer. So it adds another level to the terror because it's like, oh, this is just this like relatable activity um, that most people associate with like fun.
Hmm.
And then cut to 10 seconds later, an 8-year-old, 9-year old, 10-year old kid dying. And it changes the perspective on an activity that was once kind of wholesome and
Yeah.
innocent and fun.
Yes. It does. I mean, fun is a relative term. Maybe someone finds it fun. Let's see. Look.
Exactly what I meant when I started off with like, I don't know what the culture is over there, but you just kind of vocalized it. Maybe for some.
Yeah. Like maybe some people enjoy watching, a little ginger kid getting taken out by a shark. I can see an upside to it.
I mean, I don't think I would want to see something like that in real life. I'm
No,
I'm
no.
I'm I'm
It's fine in the
easily
movie though. It's a good scene.
traumatized. It's a great scene. It's a great scene.
Yeah, we don't get many shark attacks in the UK, so I don't think I'm likely to see that in real life. What's it like in Canada? Do you have ice sharks?
Oh, fuck you. No, we don't have ice sharks. And I
Which
don't
which I think is probably a movie.
it is.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's on Tubi. Anyways, no, I don't really know. It's funny. I live on an island and we're surrounded by the St. Lawrence River. And I want to say like 2 years ago, it was all over the news that there was a whale in our river in
Whales
the
escape.
city. And it was like huge news coverage. I think it ultimately ended up dying. But
Whale watch.
yeah, there was so much news coverage on it. We are surrounded by water, and I'm sure there are many things that live in that water. But no, I don't think sharks. I mean, I'm sure maybe there's been a shark attack. I could Google, but my phone is all the way over there.
Or
Anyways,
Canadian sharks are too polite to attack humans. R.I.P.
but no, I maybe out in the maritime provinces or maybe out in British Columbia, they have sharks. Again, I invite anybody who lives in the Atlantic provinces or in BC to weigh in. Do you have sharks? Let us know.
Do you
I'm
have sharks
curious.
at home?
Do you have sharks at home?
Look out your window. Do you see any sharks? Let us know. TBCC podcast.
Anyways, R.I.P. Alex Kintner.
Yeah.
And
Moment silence.
moment's over. We can't do a moment of silence for every dead body. Like, we're just going to sit here in silence.
But screw his mum anyway, because she slapped Brody. He's the hero of our piece.
Also, fuck her for offering a $3,000 reward for her kid, for the shark who killed her kid. I realize that, it's the 70s and inflation is a thing, but $3,000, bitch, that is your kid. I don't
Guess you
have
can put a
children.
price on it.
I don't want children. It's my personal choice. But I feel like if you have a child, you're supposed to put this child above anything and anything else in your life. So, like, shouldn't you be selling your house and your organs to come up with as much money as $3,000? Just feels, every time I see that sign in the movie, I kind of chuckle a bit. It's like,
Yeah.
that's it? That's what he's worth?
What she should be doing is like getting a dagger in her mouth and just swimming out to sea herself. Take care of business. That's Jaws the Revenge
No.
right here. Fuck Michael Caine. We got this deer with her little glasses going out to exact revenge on the shark. That would have been a
Oh
movie.
my God.
That might have been
That
a
would have been a
5-star
that
classic
would
for
have been a
me.
comedy. Oh, really? Shush.
And if there's one thing that this movie needs, a vengeful middle-aged woman.
We like vengeful women, period, at any age.
Instead, we have are they middle-aged men at this point? Brody and Quint. They count, right?
I think Quint definitely. I look, I could be wrong. I know Robert Shaw was the oldest when they were filming.
He was the star, really, of this cast
Well,
at
he
the
was the
time.
most, yeah, he was the most well known. But no, I think, look, if I had to guess, and I realize these numbers might seem off, but I thought that Hooper was probably in his late 20s to early 30s, Brody
Okay.
in his late 30s,
Yeah,
maybe early 40s,
I'm with you.
Quint in his 50s.
He's
That's
50s. I was thinking maybe late 40s for
maybe
Quint.
he has lived a life.
Yeah, it's
So,
a
yeah.
seafaring life. I mean, we've seen his body covered in scars.
Yep.
He's a hard drinking man as well. We know that.
All right, late 40s, I'll give it to you.
He
But
gives Brody a shot of gasoline to drink. He just
speaking of
spits it out and he's not looking.
speaking of Quint, he really kind of comes in like a wrecking ball at that
Scratching on his
town hall
chalkboard.
meeting.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have to plug my ears every single time I know that scene is coming.
The
And then
vibe
his
I bring
little,
to the function.
and his little shark drawing on the chalkboard with the man in its mouth.
Like,
It's just,
they're having their town meeting and he's just over there in the corner just doing his little doodle.
we just couldn't hear him.
Yeah. Well, well, he did it quietly. He wanted a dramatic effect when he actually did speak up. Scratched at the chalkboard and gave his speech.
He wanted to make an entrance.
And he did.
He's a diva.
Yeah. Well, I even said when we were watching it, this diva.
Yep.
He's sitting there.
He wants $10,000 for a shark. Good for him. I
Yeah.
wonder if Brody and Hooper got that 10,000.
I would have claimed it.
I mean,
Because, spoiler alert, it doesn't end well for Quint.
it doesn't, and ultimately he's not the one that killed the shark.
I know, right?
Oh,
Like, why was he even there? Poser.
my,
Yeah, the three of them set sail for that $10,000 reward to avenge the shark. Or avenge the town against the shark. And
oh my God.
it becomes what I said earlier, menning, doing man things on a boat,
Right?
fixing shit, drinking booze, touching each other's legs, that kind of stuff.
I have to say, I think the
It's what we do
scene,
when we get together.
please.
I've
You don't leave land. Stop that.
been on a ferry before.
Ooh, exciting.
No sharks though.
No. I think you told me once there's no predators in the UK.
We have a lot of predators in the UK. Trust.
I swear you told me there were none once.
Well, in the animal kingdom, perhaps yes.
Gotta have bears.
I would advocate for the introduction of bears into the UK.
Wait, you don't have bears?
We don't have bears in the UK. Why would we have bears? We're an island. Where would the bears come from?
Okay, where does every fucking animal that exists there comes from?
That's a
Where do
good
they
question, and I'm not qualified to answer it.
like that is the dumbest rationalization.
Where would the bears come
To
from?
say
We have deers.
you don't have bears. You have other
We,
animals. How the
we,
fuck did they get there?
I guess we have predators, but they predate smaller animals. We have like
Oh,
predatory birds,
okay.
and we
That's
have
that's very British.
badgers.
Well,
That's like that's the food chain that we have out there. Badgers and owls ruling the
wow.
roost.
That sounds very British.
Yeah, no bears though, but like I say, I wouldn't mind the introduction of bears. It'd liven up the hike, you know.
I
You're out,
have to. Yeah, go ahead.
you're out there in the woods having fun, and a bear comes along. Imagine a British person being chased by a bear.
I can't
Hilarious.
imagine that. Like, I don't have bears where I live, thank God.
How do we get onto bears?
Something about if there's predators in the. I don't know. Don't ask
Yeah,
me. This is like a really bad tangent. Let's get back to the dinner scene.
the dinner scene
The
where he,
dinner scene that I feel like is so you coded.
where Hooper just comes in and
Sits
anyone
down and
eating
is
this.
anybody eating this? Yeah, that's. I feel like that's you on a lot of levels. Takes a glass of wine, just immediately starts shoveling food into his mouth at an alarming rate.
The brown wine.
The brown wine. That's
Which,
so that's so evil coded, Matt Hooper, and then Brody pouring himself like a Tom's Collins glass size of wine is me coded.
he was under a lot of stress.
He was.
A lot was
Because of
happening.
Mayor Fuckface.
Yeah,
We have
that's
a
his name.
quota. Drink every time I say Mayor Fuckface.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't write down Mayor Fuckface in my notes, but I did write down anchor suit wearing douche, which sums him up nicely. But he's not at the dinner scene.
He's not.
We've got
He's
Hooper,
not.
Schneider,
Then
and
we
the
go
wife.
to exactly, but then we go to the autopsy, which again is you coded, the shark, being that they cut his stomach open and find all kinds of crap, like license plates and God knows
Him,
what else.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
okay.
shark was also eating questionable stuff, not just ginger children. In fact, that was a different shark.
That
But
was.
this shark was eating license plates, tin can, fish, of course, which I also don't eat.
Me neither. I don't like seafood.
Poor Hooper, trying not to throw up the whole time.
I mean, he was elbow deep inside the shark. Bless his heart. I would have just packed it in and gone home at that point. Like, I seriously, I think I would have been like, I don't live on Amity. Good luck, people. Deuces.
Damn,
Like,
you're heroic, really.
I'm not. I am a chicken shit. I am not heroic.
They were hell bent on ignoring him anyway. So, frustration alone might have made me leave. But
That's a good
okay,
point.
fuck you guys then. Fine, that's the shark.
Fuck you
Whatever.
guys. I'm
See what
going home.
happens.
Exactly.
You let those people go back in the water. It's safe. See what happens. They'll be really
Well,
smug about it when another
well,
ginger kid gets
Hooper
killed.
Hooper is smug the entire movie
Yeah, but he's smug in a cute way.
when he informs Brody that those guys on the fan boat they're not going to make it out of the harbor.
Yeah.
Says that Mayor Vaughn is signing up to be a hot lunch. Like he's got so much disdain for the small town mentality that is displayed in Amity. He can't fucking stand it. That's what adds to the comedic element. His character is supposed to be from the city. He's got no patience for this crap.
Yeah, he's aloof from it all.
Yeah, I can see, I can see that mentality of like, you're not going to make any money if you close the beaches. Quint mentions during his speech at the town hall that they'll be on welfare for the winter.
Yeah.
If you have to close your beach, is being on welfare for the winter the worst case scenario? Because that doesn't seem so bad.
Yeah, you could have your leg bitten off by a shark. I mean, I feel like that'd be worse. Hmm. It's small town politics, isn't it?
And then we get to the part that you were talking about earlier, where Mayor Fuckface, I almost called him Mayor Vaughn, my apologies. Mayor Fuckface
Don't let it happen again.
encourages encourages a sweet old couple with three, I presume, grandkids to get into the water because after Alex Kittner's death, nobody wants to get in the water, surprisingly.
Yeah, and that old guy's like, if I'm taking this risk, so are these kids.
That's an interesting way to look at it. No, but you could see the terror in their eyes as they walk into the water, and it's like, this mayor is such a dick. What the hell?
He wanted them gone, my interpretation.
That's possible. It's not a bad interpretation.
Kind of is, but thanks anyway. I think he just wanted people to get in the water. But little did they know that some kids had a different idea.
Well, yeah.
The fake shark fin,
Oh God, the fake shark fin,
terrifying everyone.
which then led to a whole grown ass adult knocking over the raft that
Yeah,
these
that
three
guy.
grandchildren were on in an
Yeah,
effort to get to the shore.
yeah.
Like, I know you don't watch Seinfeld, but that is such a George Costanza moment.
No, I know that one scene of him just charging through the room to get to the
Yeah,
exit.
because
It's,
there's a fire.
yeah, it's the same vibe with this guy. We get that classic shot of the woman reacting to the shark fin,
Well,
but
that's
then
it.
the next moment it's this guy doing the same thing but turning around and yeeting these kids out of his way.
Exactly, eating them out of his way.
All for nothing.
Every time, all for nothing, and every single time I watch that scene, I think of George Costanza. The only thing that makes Costanza's version funnier is that he pushes an old lady with a walker out of the way, in addition to some children. But
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, I mean, like you say, I don't watch the show, but I've seen the clip. If I remember correctly, she wasn't really in the way. She was just off
no,
to the side, and he pushed her anyway.
he wanted to be the first to get out.
Real. No, I get it. I mean,
Now
maybe
you
I'd be the
get
same.
what?
Wanting to be the first out, you know. You know me. You've played Dead by Daylight with me. You know how I am.
Yes, I will reserve my comments because we're still salty about what you did last night. Anyways,
I had I had 2 hooks.
you left us all to die
You
and
were all on the
escaped.
hook.
Fuck you.
I'd
Anyways,
already been hooked twice. If I saved
let's
you,
not
I was
do this.
sacrificing myself.
Let's not do this right now, okay?
I know where George was coming from. I know where this guy was coming from.
We can set a wow.
If he hadn't drowned those kids, they would have drowned him.
Wow. Like, I don't want to get into this right now, but like the context is that before you left us to die, we were helping you,
You did.
unhooking you, healing you, and this is
Well,
how you repay us.
well,
And
yeah, I got hooked twice and I got unhooked twice. But then,
dick.
when the roles were reversed, I felt a little different. The door was open. It was
Go.
there.
It was open because you opened it instead of coming to get us.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
let's move on.
and this guy
We
in the sea, he saw the beach on the
we can
horizon
settle this later.
behind those children.
Okay. We're gonna settle this later.
Okay.
Enough.
Just
I will.
we can cut this out.
I will leave you. I will find an opportunity to leave you on the hook to die at some point.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on. I want to know. Okay, so for Brody's kid, this is just a random question. What kind of a kid likes coffee ice cream?
Sick kid. That sounds horrible. I've never tried it, but
It's not horrible. I like coffee. I like
I,
coffee ice cream as an adult. But at that age, and
like, why
says
wouldn't
he
he be
wants
having
ice
chocolate?
cream and he wants, it doesn't have to be chocolate, but like
Strawberry.
coffee.
Yeah, coffee's a weird choice.
Then we come to the scene, the thing that should have happened probably at the beginning of the movie. Mayor Fuckface finally closes the beach, but only because his actual kids were on it.
Yeah.
Not because anybody else was in danger, not because anybody else got hurt, which, by the way, yeah, some dude in a rowboat got hurt.
Yeah. Immediately after the fake shark attack, we get a real
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
which is nice.
So it's a good scene, but that is literally the only reason that we are now closing the beaches is because Mayor Fuckface's offspring were on the beach that day. Nowhere at any point does he say, because now a third person is dead.
No.
It was, my kids were on that beach today. I fucking hate him so much.
That could have happened to people I sort of care about. You know?
Right? Probably cares about his kids a little bit. Not as much as his suits, though.
Well, priorities. It's a special suit. Probably setting back a few extra dollars.
Ugly as hell.
It's sort of like having a themed tie. But He went for the whole suit.
Why I did not get a graphic Mayor Vaughn death in this movie, I will never fucking understand. Shark should have ate him and his fuck ass suit.
But instead he escapes. He really he drops out of the movie as we move into the final third, and it becomes about collecting that reward for these three guys. I
Yeah.
assume Quint's splitting it with the three of them.
I'm not sure. I mean, he's not too happy to have them along to begin with. Remember
Takes
that.
Imagine he survives and takes the whole 10K for himself.
Oh my god.
But yeah, but yeah,
Well, spoiler alert, he doesn't survive.
he does not.
So,
We get this little motley crew, three men on
yes.
a boat.
But Quint is definitely the HBIC.
Okay, refresh my memory. What does
Head,
HBIC mean? Head bitch in charge.
head bitch in charge.
Okay, I got there eventually.
That's a New York reference. You should know that. I'm disappointed. We need a rewatch.
Yeah, it's been a
Anyway,
while. I was talking about that earlier today with someone actually.
another
My
tangent.
my love of the Love cinematic universe,
Yes, mine too.
but there's no
Um,
Flavor Flav in this movie.
no,
We have
unfortunately.
we have Robert Shaw, Roy Scheider,
Richard Dreyfuss.
and Richard Dreyfuss. Thank you. See, it's like you sensed that I couldn't remember his name, and you just filled it in for me.
I felt the pause and I was like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah,
Also,
they have.
don't sleep on Richard Dreyfuss.
Okay, I won't sleep on Richard Dreyfuss.
I love Richard Dreyfuss.
But yeah, after we get the third shark attack, they move out onto the ocean to get this bitch
And to do man things,
and to do man things.
like open a beer, chug
Yeah,
it, and then just crush the can in your bare hands.
hell
Because
yeah.
that's what men do when they drink beer,
Yeah,
right? Is that, do you crush the can when you're done drinking?
not dramatically. I'll crush the can
Well, then you're
because
fumbling.
then I crush the can so that you can fit more of them into the trash container. It's not an expression of
That's,
manliness.
yeah, no, that's not
But
what we're going for.
I assume that when he did that, more chest hair grew on him because it's just such a manly thing to do.
Right?
And they wait around for this shark to show up and drink and show each other their scars. At one point, Quint even rubs the other guy's leg. Remember that?
Oh my God, yes.
Gets all feely. Maybe that's why people say
They sing
it's
together.
yeah, yeah. Maybe that's why people say that this is gay coded somehow because you've got
No,
Quint
like I
and
can see
Hooper
it. I can see how
bonding.
people like are shipping Quint and Hooper.
I mean, it's a male bonding movie in that sense, I guess. But I never saw it in a gay way.
I mean, like I said, I can see it, but my view on it is really they just got drunk.
Yeah,
Everybody's your best friend when you're drunk. Because like Quint and
exactly.
Hooper are at each other's throats the entire movie, and then all of a sudden they're cuddling. That's the beer.
Hell yeah, I've been there.
I
Not
know
on a
you have.
boat, You hug it out sometimes when you've had a few drinks and you feel each other's legs. You know how it is.
I feel like when Quint told Brody to chum the water, and he was struggling, I would have shot him and chummed the water with his corpse. I'm talking about Quint now. He was
Never
being
going on a
such a
boat with you.
he's being such a dick. But
Don't piss Marianne off at sea. You'll be shark bait.
Quint probably felt like he was babysitting. Him
Mm.
having the experience, Brody being so petrified of the water. So he probably felt like he was babysitting, and that's probably annoying. But
Yeah, well, he sees himself as superior to them in that
well,
sense.
that's it. But the
They're
poor guy is chumming the water and he's huffing Old Spice through a towel.
soft.
I
It's not.
mean,
It's not a manly man like Quint.
I can only imagine what that smelled like.
Ooh, rotten rancid fish sitting
Right?
in its own blood,
Exactly.
which smells bad enough. Like congealing blood, not a nice
Yeah.
smell. Don't ask me how I know.
But
But
then we see the softer side of Quinn. And this is where they kind of redeem him with his Indianapolis speech.
great
So
scene.
he does his manly stuff, like crushing his beer and showing off his scars. And then you see him almost shed a tear,
Yeah. At
which
first he
is,
laughed, but then he serious.
yeah.
Time to buckle down and listen to an old man talk.
Oh my God. Yes. Seen that like Simpsons meme from
An
the
old
Lemon
man
of
is
Troy,
talking.
the Lemon of Troy episode. Exactly.
Yeah, it's one of the more intense scenes in the whole movie, which is strange for something that's about shark attacks. But
I mean,
Robert Shaw sells it so well. This Indianapolis story.
the It's Not Horror people would probably point to that scene to make their case, but
Yeah,
again, you have to have different elements in a horror movie. Like,
well, I think it's this whole segment of the movie that they sort of lean on for the it's not horror interpretation of this movie because it does become like a three man adventure movie at that point,
it does.
and the horror references or the horror elements take a backseat for a while as they
Yeah,
really
they do.
hunt the shark itself. It doesn't strictly hunt people anymore. But
Yeah,
if
it becomes adventure, and Quint becomes unhinged. He smashes the radio.
yeah, fucks up the boat because he,
Yeah,
because he knows better than this educated man that's telling him to go easy on it as they run away from this shark.
I feel like it was probably an intentional choice on his part.
Yeah, recklessness, willful.
Yes,
But yeah,
it's
it becomes an adventure movie, but it comes back around because that shark's not taking all this shit lying down. It decides to get its lick
no,
back, and we get
well, more than a lick.
yay. Well, it pokes its head out for that moment while he's chumming the waters, doesn't it? And we get that classic line: "We're gonna need a bigger boat."
Boat.
I mean, there's another classic line during that whole segment. Keep it steady now. I've got something very big. Remember that one?
Yes, I remember that one. Who can forget that one?
Music to your ears, no doubt. Hearing a line like that.
Oh, fuck yourself.
But yeah, they realise the boat's not quite big enough, and the shark eventually shows up and proves that at poor Quint's expense.
Poor Quint. But
Yeah,
the best kill of the movie, obviously. There's no I don't think
yeah,
there's any debating that. It's like the most graphic kill. You see the shark bite down on his midsection.
yeah. And it's the best use of the questionable Bruce,
Yep.
who didn't really want to work throughout this shoot, but they got some good bits out of Bruce. And devouring Quint was the high point,
No, I agree.
and it's where the movie circles back round to horror. Would you say Jaws its most horror-ish or horrorist this scene, or
At
would
the
you still,
end,
yeah, or would you still default to the opening
the most horror,
because they are different?
but it's different. You don't have any blood in the opening. The opening is just this ominous, helpless vibe. Whereas the end, it's like, you see Quint get eaten. There's a lot of blood in that scene. It's the goriest scene in the movie. It's apples and oranges. Like, both are horror elements, but in different ways. Like, the opening, it's horror, and it's trying to set a vibe.
And this is that horror reaching its conclusion.
Yeah, like the beginning is more ominous, the end is more like in your face. You don't see Bruce in the beginning. You don't
No,
see anything. You just see her swimming, and there's camera angles, and you see her thrashing. I mean, the movie is called Jaws, so we all know what it was, but there was kind of a build up from the beginning to the end. So you can't compare them. The end is more gore.
yeah, it's a natural endpoint of the progression from what's implied or unshown in the opening
Exactly.
to eventually
Precise.
we see those jaws in action
Exactly.
at poor Quint's expense while Hooper hides underwater, basically.
I mean,
Because he has his little
so
cage scene where the shark comes at him.
yeah, and the reason he's hiding underwater is because he's a Butterfingers. I love him, but this is where I have to criticize him. At the beginning, or closer to the beginning of the movie, when they're inspecting Ben Gardner's boat, he gets a jump scare and he drops the shark tooth. And then he's in the cage and he's got the spear full of the poison. The shark hits the cage. Again, he drops the spear. Like, dude, you had one job. You had
you,
one fucking job.
you fucked it up under the slightest pressure.
Yeah, and I mean, if we want to get technical about it, that makes him responsible for Quint's death.
Damn, it was his biggest up.
Quint was still alive. All you had to do is stab the fucking shark. But no, you dropped your little spear. I still love Matt Hooper, but like, what the fuck? Butterfingers.
And then Quint gets killed. He pops up. Um,
He
Brody
pops up.
had
He
he pops
pops
up
up
at the
after.
end
Yeah, he pops up once the
because
shark is gone. He was. You know what?
Brody's the one that
That's
takes care of business.
that's a strategy right there. You hide underwater and let somebody else do it. Won't somebody else do it?
It's me in Dead by Daylight all over again, just tucked away in the bushes, waiting for you to go down.
Why are we back here? Why are we talking about this again?
Okay, I'll stop.
Keep reminding me, and I swear, like, I'm just gonna leave you on hook to die 5 matches in a row.
No, I didn't
But
do it. I thought you were going to do that last night, but you didn't do it.
then they have a giggle when Hooper finally surfaces, realizes that Quint's dead, and then they just start kicking. Very subdued ending. And
Yeah,
all of a sudden, Brody's like okay with the water now, or maybe not. I mean, he does repeat that he doesn't like the water, but he's
I mean, I
also like swimming in it now, so who knows?
yeah, I probably wouldn't like the water much at that point. I'm a bad swimmer anyway, so I tend to
Well,
avoid the water.
he didn't like it before.
Yeah,
So maybe, like, I don't know, spending so much time in it would change his feelings and he would
he's
realize, like, oh, this isn't so bad.
he's trauma bonded with the ocean.
Well, that's it. Exactly.
But yeah, that's the ending of the movie. Quint gets eaten. Hooper hides for a bit. Maybe not so intentionally, but that's the way it plays out. And Brody gets to be the hero, although that kid's mom probably won't appreciate him anyway.
I like that Brody gets to be the hero.
He gets back to land and she slaps him again.
For
You could have
what?
you could have killed that shark sooner, before my son died.
Well, you know what? Too bad. I like that he gets to be the hero.
Yeah,
I feel like it's kind of a full circle moment from where the movie started, where you learn that his power in this town is very limited, if he even has any.
yeah,
He's the chief of police. You'd think he'd be able to close a beach or whatever. So he's kind of played as this. I mean, he's an authority figure. He's chief of police. So you'd assume he's in charge of something, and you very quickly learn that he is in charge of nothing. So to go from that to him being the one to kill the shark with the oxygen tanks that Hooper was constantly yelling at him about.
like he proves himself really to multiple people
Well,
by the
that's
end of the
it.
movie, which is appropriate.
Well, that's it. It's a perfect ending. As much as I enjoy some of the sequels for what they are, to me, that's the ending of the story, and that's where Brody involvement ends.
Yes,
But,
I'll take your word for it
but,
because it's been so long since I watched.
but the one thing I don't like about part four is that it opens with his younger son dying.
I forgot about that.
That's what I mean. They could have made a fourth movie. They didn't have to
Well, it goes back to what
go.
you were saying earlier about sequels, sort of arbitrarily killing off characters.
Not that, look, I mean, his youngest son wasn't a big character, but
No,
at that point, it's like, leave the Brodies the fuck alone.
yeah. Part four, the shark's still beefing with the Brodies.
And Chief Brody is dead in that movie. So
Okay,
it's
so they make a lot of judgment calls that maybe they shouldn't have made.
well, Roy Scheider was still alive, so I think I like to think he just had the common sense to turn the project down if he was even asked back. I hope he was asked back. I hope this wasn't their first story choice. Like, I hope there was a plan A, and I'd like to think that what they eventually made was plan B or C or D.
Yeah, although I guess
But
it's possible that the immediate idea was just to do that, maybe save money on who they get involved. But then again, they did get Michael Caine. Was he a big enough star at that point to command a lot of money? I mean,
no.
he said himself that he bought a house with that movie
Yeah,
that
but
he's
this
never
was
watched.
this was years ago, before the recession. So, no, he wasn't that big a name. I mean, I think at the time, the biggest name would have been Mario Van Peebles. Is that his name?
That's definitely a name that I've heard.
I have to Google it now because I have no idea. I like Jaws 4's, well, I guess maybe Lorraine Gary would have been the biggest name. Yeah, Mario Van Peebles. I still say the star of Jaws 4 was Thea Brody, Judith Barcy. I loved her. She's a little kid in the movie, and she stole every scene she was in. But still, just like an irredeemable movie story wise. So the
Okay,
scene
so
of Brody and Hooper like kicking towards the shore, that to me is really where
that,
the Brody story ends. He swims home to be with his family, and everybody is happy.
yeah, that's the end point. They all lived happily ever after, and there were no mixed bag of sequels to worry about.
Exactly.
And the movie made lots of money. It was a big success. It was left alone,
Yep, it was.
and that's
Nobody
Jaws.
nobody bastardized the franchise at all. That's Jaws. And you know what? For a 2 hour runtime, it feels a lot shorter than 2 hours.
Yeah, we said that when it finished.
Yeah,
It's it's not.
which
I don't. I
is a
wouldn't say
good
it feels.
thing.
I wouldn't say it feels like a 90-minute movie. Maybe 100 minutes. Definitely doesn't feel like you've sat and watched a movie for 2 hours because it flows so nicely.
Well, that's
It's
it.
structured so well.
And I know there's some scenes that maybe some people that are included in the movie that some people might find boring. For me, like it's edited perfectly. Like there's nothing I would remove. Nothing. No scene feels superfluous.
So this is like The Shining for you in that sense, because that's how I feel about The Shining.
But I feel
So
that way about The Shining too.
okay, so it's in that same bracket.
Well, yeah, five
Unchangeable
star
movie.
movie.
4-star movie for me. I'm difficult.
Okay, can I ask specifically what you've taken a star away for?
It's a good question. I guess while we've said that the movie doesn't feel like a 2 hour long movie, I would say that in the final section of the movie where they're on the boat, it does slacken a little bit compared to the earlier portion of the movie.
All right, that's fair.
Like it doesn't become bad or anything. It's not a slog to get through. It's just the movie slows down a bit and it becomes less. What? Yeah, it slows down a bit. It doesn't flow quite as well as it did earlier for me. It's just me being picky though.
No, that's fine. Like I said, for me, it's if I give a movie 5 stars, that's basically like 10 out of 10, no notes. There's nothing I would remove.
Yeah, and
And
a lot of the times if I rate a movie 4 stars, it's not necessarily because I'm making deductions. It's just it doesn't blow me away as much as another movie does. You know what I mean?
yes, I do.
Like
You're difficult.
yeah, some
You're
movies have a ceiling, and here I am putting a ceiling on Jaws.
you're a tough customer. That's okay.
Tough as nails, me. I'm like Quint.
We'll. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's how I see you too.
Oh, totally. I believe you. No
Yeah,
sarcasm there.
not whatsoever. Anyways,
That's not a roast. Anyways, where were we
like
going?
like that gif. Oh no. Anyways, one thing like I think I can't not acknowledge is the score.
Classic John Williams score.
Just perfect. John Williams has the magic touch
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
his music is distinctive as well. Like, you can tell at points that it's John Williams.
Exactly.
And I guess the John Williams Spielberg combo is ideal.
Yeah, because after Jaws, the first thing that comes to my mind is Jurassic Park.
Yeah, and there's one moment like where they're out on the boat and there's some music comes in that's very reminiscent of Jurassic Park. Was that?
Well, no, Jurassic Park was reminiscent of Jaws. Jaws came first.
I know, but this is the movie we're watching, and
Yes, okay. I get it. I
yeah,
get it.
I know how time works.
All
Like
right.
I thought of Jurassic Park while watching this movie. Sue me. Do we count Jurassic Park as a horror too,
I
or does that go too far into adventure?
I feel like there's horror again, there's horror elements. But the difference between Jurassic Park and Jaws is Jaws tells a story of something that's very realistic. Sharks exist. Sharks are real. Sharks are a real threat. Dinosaurs are not. So Jurassic Park definitely falls more into the realm of fantasy. And I do hope to God that there's not some dumb fuck on this planet somewhere trying to make that a reality. But so it's scary. The scenes with the Jeeps in front of the T-Rex cage, where like Lex and Tim are in the car and the dinosaurs crashing through the sunroof or whatever. That's scary. Like I watched that and I'm like, okay, if that shit was happening to me, if I was in that car, I would be shitting my pants, fully shitting my pants. That is a scary situation. But then the logical side of my brain is like, but I would never be in that situation. I'm more accepting of people who say that Jurassic Park is not a horror. But for me,
Okay.
there's horror elements.
Okay.
You see gore, you see people die. It's scary. You know, the scene where Dr. Sattler's in the control room in the dark and the velociraptor jumps out at her. Like, that's a jump scare. Fully got me. Still gets me sometimes. I'm caught off guard. So, yes.
But Jaws is a horror movie. That's
No,
settled by this episode.
yes, Jaws is a horror movie.
That's the takeaway.
We can get into Jurassic Park. I would love to do a Jurassic Park episode. I'm just going to say right now. And if we do, because this is a horror podcast, it would officially make Jurassic Park a horror movie, or at least
We
have
have that power.
elements of horror. Then I say we do it,
Our impact.
because I am a whore for dinosaurs. I love a dinosaur movie, and Jurassic Park franchise is like one of my favorite things.
I know.
And I
Maybe
know some other people who would like it.
totally.
So
Well, we'll make a note of that. We'll do Jurassic Park. Maybe not next week, but soon.
well, definitely not next week,
Ish.
because
Next week we're doing.
we have no idea.
Damn, I tried to set you up for something there, but
We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants.
yeah, we'll figure it out.
But I don't even think we want to announce here what we're doing next week.
No, we want to preview it.
We want to preview it, and we want to see if
Tease people.
our listeners can guess. Maybe we're gonna see how.
We'll drop clues.
Yeah, we'll drop clues.
We'll make it interactive and fun.
That sounds a lot better than we have no fucking clue. But the truth is, we have no fucking clue for next week.
Okay.
But we will get our shit together, and
we'll get it in a box.
We will know.
Get our shit together.
What's up next week, and then
we'll know. Yeah, we're not just gonna like enter into the recording session and pick a movie.
Exactly. We have to watch it first. We have to refresh I need to refresh my memory, because stoner brain, I have the memory of a goldfish. So
yeah, for me, there's movies that I can talk about without rewatching, but generally, I think we're gonna need to do rewatches.
We're getting old. It's the truth.
We?
Yeah, I mean, I'm older, but
it's true.
We are getting
She is older, guys. I'm younger than her.
I hate you so much. I'm taller than you.
I knew you were gonna say that,
Wow.
but that's also true. Alas.
You're shorter, and your leg doesn't work completely the way it is.
Completely.
I say that with love. But
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I am
I feel the love. Fine, yeah, I accept it.
I don't even know what to say to that. You're so kind and accommodating and inclusive about
Thank
my
you.
age.
Keep going.
I'm not going to keep pleasing you.
Okay. I'm not going to keep pleasing you.
I said glazing, not pleasing. Let's calm down.
I thought you said pleasing. No, I misheard.
No.
Damn.
No.
Never mind then.
Your ego doesn't need the boost. You have a healthy self-esteem.
Thank you. I'll keep it all bottled up inside, you know. Okay. Are we done with Jaws? Is that episode 1 in the bag?
I think it is. And so
oh my god.
Keep an eye out to our Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky. Do we have any other accounts? Like, my brain hurts. YouTube.
You name them all. For now, at least. We could spread eventually. Some sort of disease.
There you go. Well, keep an eye on all of our socials for information on upcoming episodes.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated. Keep you guessing.
Yes.
But for now, that's Jaws. And what that means, dear listeners, is that we will see you next Tuesday.